And this there was the she was, I think she was what you call a counselor in the lobby. So like those who tell you what you should be taking and or who you should be talking to regarding your major. And she had built quite a rapport with yours truly, knowing that I changed so many classes. So yeah, she had built that. She was Asian American. She was Asian American. I do not remember her name. But when I walked in, oh Mohammed, you did it. You did it. It's you, Mohammed. You in this car. Ah. I said, did what? Did what? Go to the cafeteria. Go to the cafeteria. You will know what I'm talking about. Go now. Go now. I walk in there and I see these buildings. I said, yeah, right. I did this. This is just fun. It's just crazy. What? I said, yeah, right. I did this. Yeah, okay, you go on with that. How did I do this? But, this is the reason, again, behind being a witness to that, behind being a witness to even the first Gulf War. A lot of people were oblivious to that even back then because people don't have time to sit down and watch news, and that's all you had. You didn't have internet back then. Operation Desert Storm, Operation Desert Shield, and whatnot. So, you have the current situation. We are able to see right through it because of all of those events and experiences, which prepared us to where we are today and what we have today. You cannot just take some 4-year college, over here in your couple of months, foreign exchange student, and come around here and think that you qualify. Sorry, you don't. Neither are you of the originators of Quranic understanding in science's application. In order for you to have the 28 years of Quranic revolutionary stockpiles, it is just too magnificent. It's too many. It will overwhelm you. Yeah, it will overwhelm this. Overwhelm? Yes, man. The Quranic Revolutionary Republican Forces, they're not playing around the mystical and the spiritual divisions. Seriously. And we are calling on the United States that you and your partner, you have to step aside, seriously. Because the world is sick and tired of war and the violence and the killing and the manipulation and the cooptation and the lies, sick and tired of this bullying, nonsense, foolishness. We don't even know colonialism, where you want to keep telling the lie, but you cannot. Even all of your news outlets that were supporting are now silent, The, the news outlets that were supporting are starting to fall silent. I mean, seriously, they really are, because they're like, how do we report anything about this? You are losing boots on the ground. In crazy numbers, you're losing a lot of equipment. Now we cannot even protect your interests in the Red Sea. And this axis of evil is not just Hamas, or this axis of resistance, it's not just Hamas. It is Hamas, it is Hezbollah, is the other guys in Syria, those in Iraq. You got the Houthis in Yemen. You're talking 5, and you say that they're all from Iran, who you call an unremovable regime. And the crazy part, let me tell you what the crazy part is. Iran, which you call, the head of evil, they answer to and they're led by their spiritual supreme leader. He is 85 years old. 85 years old. He's got the beard to prove it, and he's got really the time. If you look back in history, you'll see he is 85 years old. Joe Biden is 81 years old. How is it that this man has a clearer command of his words than Joe Biden? I'm sorry, that is just, I mean... Biden is a clown, bro. No, but the problem, I don't understand how.
Joe Biden.
I don't understand.
Joe Biden did in the 70s to the black community.
But the problem is that we have.
Now he want to talk about he a Democrat. Everybody want to
But hey, man, Joe Biden, 81 years old, man, 81 years old. Okay, when the man starts to talk, you're like, oh my, is he gonna do it? Let me see. Is he about? Is he gonna say something? Is he about to put it in? Yep, he did it. Now that is what you have on the ballot, and the other convicted felon, man. We got a convicted felon as a presidential candidate who has a very good chance of winning. That's an important statement. And I just want to say this. I want to say this. If you would allow me to say this, you know what? You know what, man? We have to understand why that is. We have to understand why it is that Mr. Donald J. Trump is actually going to be on the ballot and potentially be winning, right? Because for a long time it's been stated that you cannot have a criminal record and run for president. You've heard that before, haven't you? You have heard that before, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So, what in this situation is different, or I should say, the reason why it's different is because we're trying to change the status quo. So now, from now on, everybody who has, you know what I'm saying, y'all can understand that, you know, as he said, they're trying to get to him to get to us. Once they get through him, they'll get to us. So because they're not going to be able to get through him because he's going to win the presidency like that, like the Simpsons said, then everybody can start having elections in the prison system. You get it? So that we might wind up having a succession, I should say, of presidential prisoners. And it's not too far-fetched because Senegal just had one a little while ago. 10 days between his prison to his Oval Office swearing in. It's like 10 days difference. I mean, like, what's up with that? Or when he won the election. When he won the election. Jomai fight in Senegal. He was in prison and then he went from that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So that's, you know, we know what we're talking about. The Brothers Intelligence Incorporated Brothers Definite Sound. And honestly, brother, I mean, we're thankful. You know, Jalla Jalaluhu had his way, you know. Jalla Jalaluhu had his way. And we're thankful to him for that. And he doesn't care about who this guy is light, this guy is dark, this guy is speaking whatever they like. He doesn't care what the person has or he does not care about the party. Nothing he just does. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. Allahu Akbar. Jalla Jalaluhu. So, you know, the problem is that they've been telling the lie for over 75 years and encouraging warfare and, you know, depriving the people and making the economy just based on people getting poorer and working harder for them, you know, enriching and lining their pockets. And now, you know, and it took a lot of money, it took a lot of effort, it lasted a long time, but at some point, you know, somebody's got to flip the bill. And that's all there is to it. So, you know, just, I hope everybody can, you know, stand firm and say, look, enough is enough. No more bloodshed, no more violence. You know, let's take care of within our borders all of these criminalities from the top all the way down. You know, clear it all up. You know, a lot of these politicians are very, very corrupt. You know, a lot of people with a lot of power and influence and money. They're the ones who are encouraging this crime and stuff that we have going on in our communities, man, and that's terrible. They're funding, people to kill one another, and that's horrible because they see it as a business, and that should never be the way.
Banks, man. The banks. It's the banks,
Of
man.
course, the banker, of course, man, they have, this is all they know on how to survive.
Run the banks.
But the problem, I think the real problem is that, again, it was set up by the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, these are bankers. And once more, you just kept lying to people over the decades, man, and that's horrible, man. And now people are so confused, man. I feel very bad. I feel for a lot of folk when they don't even know what to say. They, like I said, the media falls silent. And remember that people had been pacified off media for decades. They used to read the paper every day. They used to listen to the news every day, or watch the news every day. Then when internet came on, they were keeping up with it every day like that. And you were feeding them a bunch of lies all this time. And now, finally, again, two superpowers actually, all the superpowers in the world cannot subdue 5 militias with their little funding, or the funding, with their one funding state. One funding state and 5 little militias cannot be stopped by you, BllB, and all of your allies. Don't you think there's something wrong with that picture? You have to go toe-to-toe, or you have to go with them toe-to-toe in the Red Sea for 8 months. And you lost militarily. You've lost politically. You've lost economically. You just lost. Yeah, we see how bad you tore Gaza up. That's nothing new, though. You always bomb like this. You've been doing that for decades. That's nothing new. You did not eliminate Hamas. You killed more hostages than you actually liberated in your military operation. You stalled.
A whole bunch of civilians.
Right. And everybody now sees you as liars. And those who are aiding you are also liars. Those who are supporting you, they're complicit. That is the problem. It's clear as daylight. It's clear as daylight, and the point of the matter is one who does not benefit from the truth will be harmed by falsehood, and the one who does not benefit from true guidance will be led astray by misguidance, the command of the believers, the Battle of Siffin, man.